Hello YouTube makeup lovers. So today I wanted to do a video on some contour and highlight palettes that I have. I have 3 palettes, and right now the whole contour and highlighting thing is a huge deal, and all the makeup companies are coming out with palettes just dedicated to highlighting and to contouring. And I have 3 of those palettes, so I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about these 3 palettes, tell you guys some similarities and differences between the 3, and of course tell you which is the one that I absolutely love and that I absolutely recommend, because there is one that definitely sticks out from the bunch. The 3 that I have are the Too Faced Cocoa Contour. This is the face contouring and highlighting kit. I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the contour kit, and this is in the shade Light. And then the third one I have is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one, of course show you some swatches, and then let you guys know which one is my favorite and the one that I absolutely recommend, and so far I cannot live without it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chiseled to Perfection Face Contouring and Highlighting Kit. This is actually the first one I got. I have to tell you that this is the one that smells the best out of the bunch, because it smells like the whole cocoa powder thing that Too Faced has got going on, which I absolutely love, and that's kind of like what sucked me into getting the palette. This was actually the first one I got, and this one I have used a lot just because it was the only one I had for some time. It has 2 highlights and it has 2 contour shades that you can see right here. This contour shade I absolutely loved, and that one was the medium cocoa. I even used that one as eyeshadow, and that one I really liked. And I also really liked this light cocoa shade for highlighting. It was really good. But the 2 shades on the bottom of the palette, the Pop of Light and the dark cocoa, I didn't really use, so I did think it was a little bit of a waste that out of the 4 colors, there were only 2 that I really used all that much. At first I thought I could work with the dark cocoa, but then I just felt that it was like a little too orange for me to be a contour. And then the Pop of Light, I really hated from the beginning. It's kind of like a highlight, and it has like these little flecks, which just do not work well for everybody or for anybody, I have to say, because I just really hated that color. It has like these little gold sparkles, and that's not what you want when you highlight. Here are the swatches of the 4 colors that the palette brings. So as you can see, this one is just way too orange, and then this one you can't really see the little gold particles here. It's very light, but if you look up close you see all these little gold flecks, which I absolutely just hated. So it also has a brush, and this brush I actually really liked. It is a very good quality brush. I usually don't like brushes that come in these little palettes, but this one is actually really good and would probably work really well for contouring. So those are my thoughts on this one. This one is $40, and I got mine at Sephora, and honestly, I mean, I don't know if I would recommend it unless these colors would work for you. I don't think the highlight would work for anybody, but maybe this more orangey contour shade would work for someone else. The consistency of the 2 contours and the highlight on top, they're pretty good. The product, the powder, seems nicely finely milled, and I like the way the powder feels. I just didn't like these 2 at all, and then this one I just absolutely hate. The next one is the Anastasia contour kit, and this one is in the shade Light. This one has 6 shades in total. It has 3 highlight shades and 3 contour shades. This one is also $40, and I got mine at Sephora. I have to say that out of this palette, I absolutely love all 3 of the highlight shades. The banana one is one that is like a famous color. Everybody loves to use it. It's great for highlighting. It's also great for setting your under eye circles. I've even used this one to set my under eye concealer, not my under eye circles. So they both just work really well. And then this one here is a great highlight shade, whereas these 2 are matte. They don't have any shimmery or any glow. This one does, but it's very faint, very natural. It doesn't have like any shimmery particles or anything like that, like the cocoa one that I hated. This one is just right for a highlight, not one that I would use to set my under eye concealer, because it does have kind of, you know, a little bit of a frost, but so light, and it's just perfect to add the highlight underneath the cheekbones and down the center of the nose. So those 3 all I like. The contour shades, the one that I definitely use the most is the one in the middle for my skin tone. This one is a little bit wearable. Sometimes I even mix the two. This one to me tends to be a little bit more orange, even though it's on the other side. I feel like, you know, I feel like it should be from lighter to darker, but for me, definitely the lightest is the one in the middle. Here are the swatches of all the 6 shades. Let me first show you the 3 contour shades, and then right there, I mean, you can barely see them, are the highlight shades. So this one right here is the banana yellow one. This is the other light one, and then here is the one that has kind of like the frost, which you really can't see it all that much, but that's good. It's like, that's how light it is, but it just gives you the right amount of highlight. So I really like this palette a lot. I also like that if you run out of one of these, you can refill it and they pop out easily like this, so you can just refill whichever shade it is that you use the most. So I can technically even get rid of one of the ones that I don't use that much and put 2 of the ones that I use the most, or just, you know, when I run out of these 2, which I feel are the ones that I'm gonna run out of first, I can just always refill it. So that's something that I really like about these Anastasia contour kits. I didn't buy the cream one. I know that they revamped the cream contour kit. They changed it. I really didn't like the original one. I just kind of liked the powder one a lot more. Last one I'm going to talk about is the Kat Von D, and this is the Shade and Light palette, and this one has 3 highlight shades and 3 contour shades, and I have to say that this is my favorite one of the bunch. This one is $46, so it's a little bit more pricey, but in this palette I like almost all of them. This is the one that I use the least because it's a little bit too dark for my skin tone, but I absolutely love these 3 highlight shades. Again, I've used all these 3 shades to set my under eye concealer, so I love that I can multitask with it. But for highlighting, the 2 that I use the most are these 2. This one is a little bit too orange for me to use as a highlight, but I do mix it in with the other ones when I set my under eye concealer, so it does not go to waste, and that's what I love about it. So these 3 shades are amazing, but these are the 2 favorite ones for highlighting. As far as the contour shades, I do use these 2. I really like them a lot. It's just the tone of them is just perfect. The one in the middle, I would say, is one of the ones that I use the most, but this one too, I just really like it, and I get good use out of it. This is the only one that is just like a little bit too dark, but you can use it as eyeshadow. You can use all these 3 for nice colors in the crease, so you can really take advantage. And you can even use these for eyeshadows if you want to like highlight the brow bone, or just to like kind of like how I use my MAC Vanilla, that I just like to sweep some MAC Vanilla under my brow just to make everything nice and neat. I can use that with these as well. The only thing I would change about the palette is that I know that it has the highlight shades smaller than the contour shades. I kind of wish they were all the same size and that they were all big, because I feel like sometimes I even use the highlight ones more than I do the contour ones. So I mean, that's the only thing that I would have to say about it. But the product, the powder, is so finely milled. It's like such a great powder. It blends in so nicely when you go do your contour, and it's just so flawless, and I just really love it so much. This is definitely the one that I would totally recommend. It's an amazing palette. I wouldn't recommend the brush that they sell to kind of like go with it. That highlight and contour brush I really did not like. I bought it and I returned it. I really liked the side for highlighting. I hated the little contour side of the brush. I thought that the contour side was kind of crappy, and I just liked the way the highlight side of the brush was, but I just didn't think that for one end, you know, it was necessary to keep it, so I just returned it. So I wouldn't recommend the brush, but I definitely would recommend the palette. The best thing about the Anastasia one is that you can refill them, and this one, of course, you can. If you run out of something and you want the color, you're probably just gonna have to go back and get it. Let me show you the swatches. Here are the 6 swatches. Let's wait for the camera to zoom in for you guys. There you go. Here are the 3 contour shades, and here are the 3 highlight shades. This one is like a kind of orangey, but it works really well for the under eye circles. And then here are the other 2. The highlight shades are kind of hard to see on camera, but the contour shades are just amazing. So this palette is just really awesome and I highly recommend it. It's something that I use every single day. So definitely in my ranking, I have to say that my number 1 is the Kat Von D Shade and Light. My number 2 is the Anastasia Contour Kit. And the number 3 is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour. I think I would pass on the Too Faced Cocoa Contour and go with one of these. But my number 1 choice is definitely the Kat Von D Shade and Light. It's just these colors. They have such great color payoff and they're just so smooth and they glide on so nicely and they blend so well. So I absolutely love it. I've been very impressed with the Kat Von D products. There's nothing yet except for the brush that goes with this kit that has disappointed me. That's the only thing that I've tried with Kat Von D that has disappointed me. I also have the Shade and Light eye palette and I absolutely love it as well. So I recommend that one too. So I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching B Lounge Makeup. Bye.